Okay, so the story we're doing is about you and Abby getting selected for the national team. So I've already spoken with Abby, talked to your coach, talked to Doug. You're the last interview.
Oh, fun.
So first, just get it out of the way. Could you say and spell your name for me?
Rose Hollerman, ROSEHOLLERMANN.
Okay. And then your major and classification.
I'm in elementary teaching, and my classification is a 3.5.
And are you junior, senior, freshman?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore?
Don't
I said all. Yeah. Perfect. How long have you been on the team?
The team here, my second year.
Okay. Obviously, sophomore.
Yeah.
And how long have you been playing wheelchair basketball?
I've been playing wheelchair basketball for 14 years.
Okay.
Around there. It's been really long.
And what got you into it?
I was doing therapy at the Courage Center, which is a rehabilitation facility in Minnesota. And I was in swim therapy, and they got me into swimming competitively, and from there I just ended up doing any sport you could imagine.
Okay. So what all have you messed around with?
Well, my family does competitive archery and trap shooting, so I did that on my high school team. I did track and field, swimming. I did taekwondo. Is that how you say it? For a while. I tried cross country skiing. I tried downhill skiing one time, but didn't stick with it.
Okay.
But my primary ones were I did swimming competitively until I was 14, and then I got a shoulder injury, which was what kind of made me switch over to my main one being basketball.
Okay.
Which was probably the best thing that ever happened to me.
Okay. And so you're from Minnesota. So what brought you to UTA? Was it the program, or had you moved to Texas, or what's the story behind that?
I was just looking at schools, and Jay Nelms is one of the best coaches I think in the league for sure, and it's hard to not come and play under someone like him, and the climate change was definitely a plus, being able to go into not 12 inches of snow all the time. So I just came here for basketball primarily.
Gotcha. And how do you like Arlington and your experience so far?
I love it. I mean, we're in awesome apartments. The school is great. The surrounding town is wonderful. Having Dallas and Fort Worth right there is great. It's a pretty good place to live.
Cool. Let's talk a little bit about when did you, I guess, was it always so you've been playing for 14 years, a little different than Abby's story. She's only been doing it for 3. But I guess since you started basketball, has it been your goal to represent the U.S., or is that something that just kind of came about?
I guess it kind of it fell into my lap a little bit, because I was doing swimming and I wanted to represent it there. And for some reason I decided that I wanted to go to Beijing when I was 12, and I wasn't even young enough or old enough to even compete, but I really wanted to represent it for swimming, and then just ended up doing it for basketball, because I really was focused on swimming before and after school, and then I stopped doing that and switched to basketball after school every day, and I made the team when I was 15, so it just kind of happened.
Okay. Oh, so you've already gone to an Olympic?
Yeah, I went to the 2012 Paralympics in London.
And how was that experience?
It was good. We ended up losing by 1 point in the semifinal and ended up 4th, but it was heartbreaking, but it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
You said in the semis?
Yeah, we lost to Australia. We ended up not qualifying for the Paralympics this year.
Oh, okay.
Which was crazy.
It was crazy. And how much playing time did you see in that tournament?
I started out not playing really at all because I was only 16, and then I ended up getting a decent amount of playing time because a lineup worked where I classification, they needed me in there, and I was playing well, so I probably saw 15 minutes a game.
Okay, that's quite good.
Started a couple of games, which was my first time starting, and it happened to be at the Paralympics.
So Oh, really? So your first time to start really start in a game was at the Paralympics?
For the USA team, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
And
okay.
I was terrified.
And did that fear kind of go away once it started rolling? And is that how it? Because I mean, I know when I played football and stuff in high school, and the first time it's kind of terrifying, but it goes away once the whistle blows. Is that kind of how your experience? Yeah.
Especially there's 16,000 people in the stadium, and it's crazy. Like once the game starts, you don't really hear anything but besides what's like in between the lines.
Isn't that crazy? Like I've never been in a place with 16,000 people, but like just playing the sports I did, isn't that weird how that happens? Like it just goes silent. All you hear is what you're in. It blows my mind.
Yeah. We had like a big game against. This was one of the things I thought was crazy. We had a big game against China in the like pool play where we were down like 20 points with 10 minutes left in the game, and we ended up coming back, and I ended up like getting on the free throw line when we were down by like 3 or something. And like it was crazy loud because it was such an exciting game, and I'm on the free throw line and my dad is in like the very top of it, and I can like hear him yelling at me, and he like says the same thing every time. It's like shoot with confidence, Rose, every time I shoot a free throw. And so it's crazy how like that happens too. Like you don't hear anything else, but then your dad yells at you and you can hear it.
That's awesome. So you got the experience. How are you going to bring that experience into this games?
I think it'll help me know like to train hard, and just I guess I'll be calmer during it. I don't really know. 16 when I was there, it felt like I wasn't really even at the Paralympics because I was so young. I was just along for the ride and ended up getting playing time. And this one, like, I'm actually going to be a part of the team. I'm going to be a leader on the team. I'm going to be starting every game. So it's going to be a completely different experience. It's probably going to be less about the venues and the rest of the sports, and it's going to be about basketball. Like, I'm not going to notice as much of the other stuff because I'm going to be so focused.
Abby was kind of saying that you guys kind of connected, I guess, throughout this. How will you use your experience from before to kind of help her with her first, like this is going to be her first experience? Is there going to be any kind of mentoring, like, hey, keeping her focused, stuff like that?
I guess.
Will that be part of your deal, or are you just going to go and she's just going to go?
I mean, I'll try to help her if she needs it, but I don't think she'll need help. She'll be fine. Yeah.
Just, and it's kind of sound maybe like a cheesy question, but how does it feel to you to represent the U.S.? Like, what does that mean to you, I guess?
It's one of those things you can't really put into words because it's so important to you. I wake up and think about, like, what can I do for basketball today? And, like, it is all about the USA team to me, where, like, this is awesome, but when you really think about, like, it's hard to grasp that you're competing against the entire world to represent, like, everything that is you. That, like, I'm taking German right now. That was why I was late to practice, because I was in German too. And it's like, and I live with German speakers that lived over there, and you really start to, like, realize that, like, your country is you, because, like, the culture just automatically influences you. So it's like you're representing everything that made you, which is the only reason you're there in the first place, but it's just like a hard thing to wrap your head around.
I just get nervous and it stopped. It stopped at me one time, and my whole interview was gone.
Well, that sucks.
So obviously that's important to you. So what does that do for you on the court? So you're saying it's like it is about the U.S. games to you. It is about USA basketball. How does that come onto the court with you? Like, what does that mean to you when you step on? When you're on the court.
Like for USA stuff?
Yeah. Well, just representing your country against the world. Like, how does that play into like your mentality and everything when you're actually competing?
I mean, like try to figure out everything that you could possibly do for the team, whether you're like on the bench for 5 minutes cheering hard, or you're on the court making a layup or setting a pick for someone, or being the person to take the big shots. Like, it's just doing everything you possibly can. I like to think I'm like a very hyped player, so like in general I'm always like yelling and screaming and stuff, so I feel like I get worse at USA stuff and people need to calm me down a little bit. But
so you're not going to leave anything on the court, basically?
No, I try not to.
Okay. All right. I kind of asked Abby a little bit about this. What do you see in the future? Like, are you just doing this for now and trying to graduate, or is this life for you? Are you going to try to go maybe do professionally, or is it just going to depend on where life takes you? Like,
I mean, they have a professional league in Europe, and I would love to go over there for a year or two, but for the most part, I think this is something that will always be a part of my life, but it won't be like the part of my life. Like, at some point I want to like go do stuff with my career. Like, I hope to take elementary teaching into like a master's degree and maybe further, and like start doing research and just like helping out everyone I possibly can. So if it happens where basketball is the car that takes me to bettering people's lives, then so be it. Or if it's my career that does it, that works too.
okay. That's awesome. I appreciate your help.
Thank you.
Thank you, and good